Hey everyone, and welcome to the Dota 2 Builds of the Week, the weekly series where I show you guys top 5 meta builds to help you start with new heroes in Dota 2. This week we're starting with Position 1, Hard Carry Drow Ranger. Drow Ranger recently got buffed in 7.30E, and the result of that is Drow Ranger seeing a lot more play in the pro scene. What's happening is actually relatively simple. You're focusing in on taking Frost Arrows for harassment and extra damage. You're also going to be taking Multi-Shot and a value point in Gust, but you're going to be maxing Multi-Shot first before anything else. The reason is relatively straightforward. You want to farm as fast as you can, and Multi-Shot allows you to do that. With regards to the talents as well, you're taking the extra damage of Frost Arrows and the Multi-Shot talents as well, and marksmanship. The result of that is a very, very significant amount of DPS. You're taking marksmanship whenever you can as well, and with regards to the starting items, you are going with as many stats as possible. The main item progression right now is actually pretty straightforward as well. You are going power treads into a magic wand. You could skip the wand if you want, but almost every pro player is taking the wand for honestly just straight up its value. You already have the branches here, so it's actually relatively inexpensive to finish it. And then you're going into Dragonlance. Depending on the game, you can actually go BKB before Manta if they have a lot of lockdown and you're a little behind, but Manta into Hurricane Pike and BKB is preferred. You're also seeing builds where she's going Falcon Blade early to give her some sustain. You also have the Silver's Edge if you want to do some ganking, but overall Drow Ranger's back in the meta and she is a formidable carry if she's going off. In position 2 mid, we're talking about Kunkka. Kunkka was seeing a lot of play in the pro scene, especially at TI-10. He was one of the heroes I was thinking about actually including in the TI-10 montages. However, the important thing to understand about Kunkka is that he has a very straightforward playstyle. His skill build is pretty consistent. You're always maxing out Tidebringer first, taking value points in Torrent and X marks, and then eventually taking the rest in X marks when you have a chance. He's all about maximizing his farm potential with Tidebringer, and also taking as many stats as he can into the start. You're also going to be focusing on all damage based talents. You could consider doing the torrent based talents if you are going towards the Aghanim Scepter, which allows you to basically summon a wide variety of torrents all around you in a massive AoE. It's one of the best Aghanim Scepters in the game, the most satisfying anyway. With regards to standard itemization though, in mid you are going to be going bottle into phase boots. The armlet is just such a good item for him considering the extra damage he gets as well. The armor and regeneration is very beneficial for him as a strength hero. You're seeing a lot of Heaven's Halberd. It counters a lot of the meta right now with the, Tiny's starting to fall out of favor, but, all the right-clicking carries, he does counter them with Heaven's Halberd, gives him a lot of added sustain as well with the evasion and the status resistance. BKB and Assault Cuirass kind of round it out. Optionally, you can also go into a Silver's Edge, which can do a tremendous amount of damage with Tidebringer. As I said, Ags is such a fun skill to go, and if you want to really punish people, Daedalus is greedy as hell, but it definitely works as well. The X marks Blink Dagger combination is as good as it's always been, so Kunkka overall is still an excellent mid. You didn't think I was going to skip Marci, did you? Because Marci position 3 is probably where she's at her sweet spot right now. She's pretty good everywhere. She can pretty much be played everywhere. But right now, Marci at position 3 is kind of where, people are really finding a lot of success with her. You're taking like basically the armor, the stun, the spell immunity, and the Unleash Pulse Silence effect. Basically gives you an immense amount of teamfight potential. You're taking all stats as your starting items, which is just, it's incredible because remember, anytime you have a strength-based hero taking stats in lane, not only are you getting better efficiency with regards to your ability to last hit, but you're also getting added HP, which lets you trade more effectively as well. I found the most success with going Helm of the Iron Will first into Soul Ring, so you can sustain your mana, into Armlet, finally Phase Boots because she gets right into the mix, right? So the added armor helps a lot, the added damage, the movement speed. Like, Phase Boots are perfect for Marci. BKB, now you're thinking, Alex, BKB? Why BKB? Well, because you want to be able to use Unleash without being locked down. You pop your BKB, you get in there, and then you Unleash, and you just punch the crap out of anybody you can literally get your hands on, right? So BKB allows you to really amplify your Unleash potential, so that's why BKB is absolutely core on her. And bash her because, well, if you're punching everyone super fast with Unleash, you're going to stun them. And Unleash has this inherent kind of like cooldown in between pulses, which kind of conveniently matches up pretty well with the inherent cooldown of Skull Basher, which is not actually listed here, but it is. So there is a cooldown. You can't just like repeatedly bash someone over and over again, right? Optionally, right, if you're going position 3, you can go the Crimson Guard Pipe of Insight thing. thing, be a nice team fighter. It also makes you, very difficult to kill, kind of like an Underlord. Blink Dagger is just very beneficial. You can blink on top of someone, dispose, rebound out. It gives you a lot of mobility. Drums, because you want to like amp up your team, right? Marci's all about giving your team the ability to kind of take advantage of a situation. Blade Mail, because you're right in the mix, so if it allows you to survive a little bit longer, then Marci's she's in the fight, right? So if the Blade Mail really helps to discourage people from attacking her while you're doing unleash damage and disposing and rebounding like crazy, right? So it's a pretty good item as well on Lotus, because it's simply a high value item in games where you need that reflection or the dispel. Overall, Marci 3, she's unbelievable, and guess what? We're going to talk about her for Marci number 4. Marci position 4 is very successful right now, but the build is significantly different, as is the overall strategy. You're taking value points in dispose and rebound. However, what you're actually doing is you're focusing in on sidekick as your primary skill you're maxing out. The reason for this is because you usually have an offlaner that is a strength core, right? Strength melee core. And they're going to benefit from the bonus damage for last hitting and the lifesteal for sustain. What's interesting about sidekick in particular is that by maxing it out early, what you're actually doing is you're not only reducing the cooldown, but you're also reducing the mana cost. So it becomes increasingly more efficient as you put levels into it, not just the benefit, but the actual efficiency of it. So, you're seeing a lot of success with the bristles, the centaurs, and other strength melee cores that can really benefit from the sustain and the extra damage. And also the build is similar to the 3, except you're taking the sidekick additional lifesteal, because again, you're a position 4, you want to amplify your teammates, right? The movement speed is fantastic as well, but the spell immunity is just too good. You are going an Orb of Venom because you want to be like a harass-centric hero. You want to amplify your teammates, get on top of someone, slow them down, dispose them, and put them way out of position. It's really beneficial. The build is, the standard progression is still boots into Orb of Corrosion. We're seeing a lot of Orb of Corrosion. The extra health helps a lot, and also because you're always in the mix of the fight, you want to be providing as much value to your team if they're focusing any given target. Phase boost because you want the armor, but Basher and BKB, and you're thinking, Alex, Basher, BKB on a support? Yes. As a Marci support, you want to actually get into the mix. You're focusing in on the Basher before the BKB because, the Basher is significantly less expensive than the BKB. And if you can lock someone down in a brief stun and let your teammates kind of take advantage of that, it's really beneficial. If you can get to BKB, you are laughing all the way to the bank. Based on the game, you can also make a choice, right? Blink Dagger, you can also, Soul Ring works really well with her, but in this particular build, you might not be able to sustain your health that much early in the game. Vessel, Solar Crest, Drums, these are all items that activate your cores, right? So, if you need the Vessel for the opposing team, if they have a Bristle, a Centaur, a Morphling, definitely get Vessel. If you have a Wraith King, a PA, or someone that can really benefit from Solar Crest, get that Solar Crest. It's a very flexible build, but overall, she is so damn good. Omniknight got buffed. Well, kind of. Basically, you saw some minor buffs to Degen Aura, and what's happening now is some of the pros are experimenting with taking Degen Aura kind of early, just as kind of like just an impact spell for the laning stage, and they're actually focusing on purification with points into Heavenly Grace. What's interesting about this is, once again, it's the same build as it was before. You're taking all the support talents, but the starting items, right, you are focusing in completely as a support. Almost every pro is building Magic Wand still because of the amount of value it gives, and in this case, this is actually pretty interesting. What we're seeing in a lot of pro games is people going Arcane Boots into Blink Dagger, into Aether Lens. They're disassembling the Arcane Boots to build the Aether Lens, and then building Arcane Boots again. They're not actually building the Tranquils like you see on most, because remember, he's a strength core, he's going to have higher natural regeneration, and he can heal himself with purification. So you're actually usually seeing the disassemble of the Arcane Boots into Aether Lens, and then rebuilding Arcane Boots after. Or you can actually stay up around Boots and go towards Octarine Core. It's up to you, or do both. There's a little bit of flexibility there. Despite being nerfed a little bit, Holy Lock is still good if you need some mana if you need some mana in the early parts of the game. Ring of Basilius is good as well. Force Staff, Glimmer, and Ghost Scepter, just the usual for your position 5. If you have any questions, let me know down below. Thank you so much for watching, and a very special thank you to all of our wonderful subscribers. We will see you in the next Dota 2 video.